I'm talking with Paul Simon. Your hand's recovered, is it?
My hand is better, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
You can tip like this on television.
Yeah, you can. And the funny part is if you do it just enough, you fall over and get an enormous laugh. I've always wanted to do that. Say, I know something about you, that you're studying music seriously now, which I find sort of touching, and that after becoming enormously rich, famous, successful, and sought after, you're suddenly taking music even more seriously. And are you studying composition or theory of music or both?
I am, yeah, but it's not exactly accurate to say I'm studying seriously because I was always serious about it.
Well,
I'm just directing it in a more disciplined way, I think.
And you're taking voice lessons?
Well, when my hand was bad and I couldn't play the guitar, I was getting restless. I thought I would do something, so I decided to study voice, just for fun. I don't want to be a singer. I don't even think of myself as a singer.
You don't?
No, I think of myself as a writer. But I thought it would be interesting. It is interesting. It's good.
Do rock and pop stars and people like that who are very famous but are also serious musicians ever wish they were more appreciated as musicians? You know what I mean? I was talking to a group of girls who were waiting outside an apartment once for Paul McCartney to come out. They thought he was in there. And I said, what is it that's so great about him? And of course I know, but I was asking them. And they said, well, he's just so cute. And I thought, doesn't he ever want to say to them, but you know I'm a musician as well? Is this ever a drag for the serious people like you, Dylan, McCartney? Or
I like when they say you're cute.
Oh, you do? Well,
I think
all right,
I
I don't
go for
want
the
to
cute
take
line actually more than the
other thing.
the serious line. Yeah.
Yes.
I spoke to McCartney and I said to him, he was here recently and we spoke, and I said, did you ever study anything? How did you write those changes? And he said he never studied.
Do you believe it?
Yeah, well, possibly. Actually, I don't. Well, it's possible, but then he's a really natural musician, which he is. He's a very musical, very musical guy. But it's so right musically what he does. The changes, the harmonies are right. And
who are the geniuses in the field? Are there any real authentic geniuses in popular music?
Today?
Some people say McCartney is. Some people say you are. Some people say Lennon is or has been, or they'll say somebody else has been but isn't now, or somebody's becoming one.
Well, I feel that there are no geniuses in it.
None.
I feel it's popular music is a field that a lot of attention is paid to and a big emphasis is put on, and it's this is terrible to say. It's really quite mediocre, I think. Me included. I really don't feel that I'm much more than mediocre.
Rock
assuming that you take songwriters as in a line, and you go through the major songwriters of this century, and they were better ones a few years ago.
Who were your heroes a few years ago?
Well, I don't have any heroes, but well, Gershwin was good.
Yeah. Yeah, if you like music. I know. Cole Porter.
Cole Porter was good. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Irving Berlin, Jerome Kern, Richard Rodgers. They're all...
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger was good. He's good.
Would it be safe to say that certain acts...
But I mean, where I just called you on the word genius. That's all.
Yeah, you reject that.
I really don't think there any geniuses, and I do think that of the people today, I think today there are as many talented people as there ever were, but I do feel that a lot of the writers don't develop their talents to their fullest somehow in popular music. It stops, and I think part of the blame is that it's just overpaid, you know?
Overpaid.
Well, it's just you make millions of dollars doing something. It takes away a motivation. I mean, and look, the music goes to. It's mostly performed in these huge arenas now. So it's not a musical place. It's really not conducive to music, and
it must be anguishing for... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And the other thing I was going to say is that the radio stations, which really dictate what is popular music today, it's so difficult to get your song on a radio station. They only play about 16 songs.
And they chop them up.
Not only do they chop them up, but they speed them up.
What?
They speed up the tapes a little bit. They pick up 2-3 seconds on each song, and then at the end of a day, you have about 3 or 4 minutes more time to sell commercials on.
You mean they spin the record faster? Or
Well,
putting a finger on it?
They take it on tape, and they
speed it up.
They
It would
speed
go into
the
a different
tape
key,
up.
wouldn't it? If it went. They speed
It
it up.
actually does. It would be slightly higher in pitch. I don't think you would notice it.
It must be anguishing for people to know that if they had thought of Mrs. Robinson or Bridge Over Troubled Water, they could be millionaires. And that a song can make you a millionaire. The money comes in from all parts of the world, perhaps for the rest of your life. Well, a number of things I'm curious about that. One of them is, though, that who takes care to see that you're not gypped by the people who are supposed to get the money to you? There are stories of rock acts and musicians and popular musicians finding that millions have vanished that were supposed to come to them, and they're having to work the rest of their lives out on the road. You know of such cases?
Yeah, of course. There are many, many cases. Same is true of athletes and
Oh, sure.
people who make a lot of money quickly. Who takes care of it? Well, you have advisors and you have people that help you, and if you're lucky, you pick people who are good and who are honest, and if you're unlucky, you don't, and you lose some money.
I asked you once what I thought was an impossible question: how do you write a song? You know, that's what everyone wants to know. And you actually showed me at least how you write a song.
Oh.
And it was almost like you'd imagine somebody who writes a song. You took the guitar and you strummed it a bit, and you said, "I'll be sitting out thinking, da 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 da, Mrs. Roosevelt, no, Mrs. Robinson, Robinson." And it was. Some people thought, was he kidding? Is that really how he writes?
Yes, I've now elaborated on that technique. I know more about what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Partly because of the studying, I know there are a lot of alternatives that I now know I can go to that I... You want me to give you the lesson again?